Rich, a few days on from that Sheffield win now, just looking back, how good of a response was that?
Yeah, it's one that we spoke about that we needed for that game, especially being a derby, and it was great to get the result after 11 years. So yeah, happy with it.
As we mentioned there, 11 years on from that last win against Sheffield. It's obviously not the only thing we're playing for this season, but it's some achievement, isn't it?
They seem to have done a number on us every time we've played them. Since we've been in Championship and in competitions. Yeah, it was on the back of what happened at York. I'm sure they was expecting some sort of response, and I was happy we got it. We need to build on that now. Looking at the Barrow game, we're in really good form and sat high in the table, and it gives us something to something to aim at in trying to catch them. Paul's got a really good tune out of them, really, in how they're playing and the performances that they're putting out week in, week out. They're very consistent in what they're doing. So we're going to have to be good, and if not better than we were at weekend.
We mentioned after that York loss how there were no time to dwell on it with a quick turnaround. It's obviously another one for this weekend. There's no time to kind of overachieve either, over celebrate, is there?
We've had a few more days than usual, to get bodies ready for Sunday. We picked up a couple of knocks, and we've got an aging team in a way that need a little bit of oiling before the weekend again. So we're aware of what we need to do and where we need to be leading into this Barrow game, and everything's going how we thought it would and how we've planned.
Looking forward then that Barrow game this weekend. It's obviously a long one. What are you expecting from that challenge?
Look, it's more mental than anything. The challenges of that you've got to overcome in the travel. It's a daunting place to go to. Physically, we'll be ready for it. We've made sure that the training sessions are tapered for us to be hopefully at our best. We know we're going to be in with a big physical encounter with their pack, which is very big and very mobile and causing teams problems. And then they've got pace on the edges in Bullman and Ritson. So yeah, we like I said, we're going to have to be making sure that we don't go there, unprepared, and mentally we have to be at it from minute one.
They've obviously had a strong start in the third at the moment going into this weekend. It's going to be another tough battle, isn't it?
Look, yeah, they're always a team that play very well at home. So last year we went there and we got it right, in how we played and our attitude, and we've spoke about that already. It's how you approach the game, how you mentally approach it, because physically they're there. That's what pre-season's for. The boys and these games now, we're round 7. Bodies are ready for contact. Timing's getting better with and combinations with our strike, so and our offense. So we'd like to think we need to turn up between the ears in what we need to do.
You obviously mentioned last year. Then obviously it's 2 different teams now, but it'd be nice to have another afternoon like that this time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, look, we know it's going to be a real tough encounter. Like I say, physically, they're big. They're very powerful in how they play. Very high completion rate, kick really well. So they'll give our backfield a job to do, and we've spoke about all this. So the boys know what they need to do to go get the result up there. It's about them going and applying themselves, and like they did against Sheffield.
Mentioned about how strong they've been in this first couple of months. We've shown kind of against Sheffield, and to lose that when we get it right, we're also a strong outfit, aren't we?
Yeah, certainly. We know where we're at. We're we need to build some momentum now. We can't just keep being on a bit of a roller coaster season where we put in a performance and then the week after we don't. We're nowhere near the levels that we were the week before. So something that we've looked at as staff and the players have looked at themselves a little bit in making sure that preparation is key leading into these games.
Looking forward to it this weekend.
Yeah, certainly. Like I say, we want to build some momentum. We want to hopefully get on a bit of a run, so help us climb that table, and I think it's a real good opportunity to do that.